It's been 1 week since historic rainfall flooded San Diego, devastating several communities. 1 week later, the cleanup is only beginning for the hardest hit neighborhoods. Damaged cars, mud and debris fill the ground as people try to sort through the pieces and what to do next. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am Wale Aliyu. I'm back in the South Crescent Mountain View neighborhoods for another week of coverage on the aftermath of the flooding. We remain committed to following through on the stories of this community, and these stories are vast. You just saw families there behind me grabbing food. They're still cleaning up at this hour. It's a little hard to see at this dark night, but this road is basically dirt now since the water is evaporated. Today, residents faced the San Diego City Council for the first time since the storm. One South Crest man whose home was flooded shared what he, his family, and neighbors went through 1 week ago.
Lost everything. Everything. My daughter was barefooted. She got her feet cut up to rescue Miss Dorothy, cancer patient, called me crying. I couldn't do nothing. I called my daughter, Jasmine, please go for Miss Dorothy. She swam over my son's Lexus car, over the fence, barefooted, popped her down, brought her towards us. Me and my neighbor swam to the Lexus, pulled her up, put them both on the roof.
During the meeting, the City Council unanimously approved Mayor Todd Gloria's local emergency proclamation. The council assured residents they will do everything that they can to get them the help they need. But that man's emotions are the same emotions that we have been hearing over and over and over again from just about everybody in these neighborhoods. They're devastated. They don't know what to do. Today, FEMA was on hand, the state was on hand, city was on hand, walking through, assessing the damage, taking that assessment as high up as they can to the White House to see if they can get any kind of federal funding. So when these people see the federal government on hand, they get a little excited. They say, hey, am I gonna get help today? I'm sleeping in my car, I don't have a place to live, can I get help today? We took those questions to the federal government, and sadly, the answer is not yet. It's a little bit of a process. Storm happened last Monday. Many are asking why take a week before you come out and do those assessments.
Actually, it's just a process. So when we're asked by the city and the county and the state to come in, once all of the resources are in place to be able to start the process, then that's when we do it. And our hearts go out to them because it's really tragic to see the water up above my head in their home and in the areas around here. So it's deeply sad. Like, we're not without emotion, but we know that there's a federal process in place, and we're just trying to complete it as quickly as possible.
These storms that we used to call 100-year storms, you're seeing them more and more often. Is there a larger conversation about these flood maps?
Absolutely. And I think the important thing for people to know is that flooding can happen anywhere. It can happen to anyone's home, regardless of if you're in a flood zone or not. And so making sure that you have flood insurance in addition to your renter's insurance, in addition to your homeowner's insurance, making sure that you know what hazards are around you, where the dams are, where bodies of water are that could potentially impact you, it's extremely important. I don't think it's necessarily a conversation about the flood zone that you're in. I think it's a larger conversation about the fact that if rain is coming to Southern California and potentially hurricanes, that you have to be thinking about flood just as much as you're thinking about earthquake or fire or any of the other hazards that could potentially impact.
So this is obviously a minority community, and sadly we've seen it in the past time and time again. When these things happen, they disproportionately affect minority communities, and then the help that comes, if and when it comes, disproportionately is less for minority communities. How do we make sure that does not happen this time around?
We show up. The federal government can't just come in and make sure that everything is equitable in a specific community, even though we try. And so I think it's really, really important for the community to band together and understand what's going on and how to navigate to make sure that their community is taken care of when something like this happens.
But these people are begging for help right now. We just talked to Martin. He's sleeping in his car. A family of 5 sleeping in cars outside. They don't have a place to stay. What help can they get right now, like tonight?
Right now, the help is from the community. It's from nonprofit organizations. It's from reaching out to their emergency management agency in their city and in their county and saying, I need help, and these are the specific things that I need, and asking for those resources to be placed here.
All right, Brandon, you did the best you could. I appreciate that. I just wish we could give more of an actual estimate for these people so they're not kind of in limbo.
I think the important point to be made for people who are in limbo right now is that there are lots of agencies and organizations that are available, hopefully, to provide assistance to them in the meantime. And our system is set up that way to be able to have nonprofit organizations and others in the community to be able to wrap their arms around Martin and his family and support them.